Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Marty Zeller, state champions 3 years in a row. And Marty, thanks for coming in. And sorry it's taken so long, but you know, COVID, you have to have patience, you know, to get going. And we're finally back broadcasting again. So it's great to have you on.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Three-peat. I mean, that's pretty good to hear, right?
It's pretty special, very special, Steve.
You got a good team coming back, but you know, this year has been playing in the pit, little different. No crowd, no Los Lunas fans in the stands.
We started out the Tuesday night with fans, and then the word came out on Wednesday that no more fans, and we were able to play Thursday and Friday. But the bottom line was we were able to play. That was the main thing. We were able to play. We were able to finish it off. And fans
very
no
important
fans,
to you and your players, and because even the day before the finals, they were thinking about it would not even. I mean, it was up in the air if you were going to play on that Saturday.
They were thinking about making co-champions, you know, and not playing the game. And I was like, yeah, we wanted to play. I know that, and I think Kirtland Central wanted to play. I know they did. So.
Well, we got some highlights of that game and kind of refresh your memory and you know, a team that you know well, Kirtland Central, and
yes, we do. Oh, Mia Guest knocking out a three-pointer as she does. Mia's going on to Colorado Christian University.
what a, you know, you guys get hot, and you have those streaks, and that's the thing that Curlin couldn't get over with in this game. You just kept, but they didn't quit on you. They just kept kind of fighting back at you, but then at the end, you just kind of.
You know, we get those streaks because that's the way we play. You know, that's the way we practice when we come to scrimmage time. It's all about the next play, getting ready. You know, a bucket scored, and well, it didn't look like it right there. I'm saying a bucket scored, and you're ready for the press. But that was a shot that was at the end of the quarter.
And this team was special because you had multiple weapons. I mean, that's probably been the key to your success. You've got not
Multiple weapons.
You got more than 5 players too. I mean, you work really hard on your bench depth.
You know, we've worked on that ever since I came. When I had my daughter Tage, her average at Grants was 23.5, and I said in the first Booster Club meeting that, you know, Tage will not be averaging 23.5, but everyone else will be required to do a lot more than they were expected to do in the past. So, and that's exactly what's happened. You know, we try to develop a team, and with the program, we try and make it family.
Well,
it's all about family.
As you're closing to the end, how special is this? I mean, this is what.
You know, you'd never know there weren't fans there right there with us. That's all I can say is, you know, it's special. It is special.
You have a little new accolade there, you know. I mean,
Hey,
laying down on the job, you know.
That's how the players tell me it every time if we win a tournament or win the state championship, of course. But I mean, when we win the district championship, which we've won 8 years since I've been there. But you know, the players just say, "Hey, coach, get on there." So I was like, "Okay."
Well, I tell you what, Josh Brown, he did some research, and I didn't know this. I mean, it was just, you know, 3 years, but what an impressive resume. 18, 19, and 20, you win the state championship. You won 2 others in 13 and 15. But what's more impressive is that for the last 8 years, you've been in the finals except for 1 year. And you played Roswell, one of your minuses that you predicted you were going to play in the finals, you know, for the finals, and you played them in the semifinals.
It's true. I did tell the girls. I predicted that it would be Roswell and Los Lunas in the finals that year. And instead it was Roswell and Los Lunas in the semifinals. And Jaden De La Cerda was on a mission that year.
What a great career she had at UNM, or still has a career. I'm not sure if she's a senior yet or not.
Right. Well, if you remember, in the finals, they played Gallup, who was undefeated, and Jaden had 42 points. She had 36 at halftime, I think, or something like that. She was on a mission, man. She just about beat Gallup by herself. So it was a legit team. Roswell was legit. Coach Carpenter's a very good coach. We're going to be facing Coach Carpenter and Hobbs this year since Los Lunas moved up to 5A. So, yeah, we'll have that rivalry back with.
So what was special about this team? And you and I talked about, you know, keeping them focused all year. I mean, last year, excuse me, you had a target on your back. I mean, it was like you're the team to beat, and keeping them focused the whole year. I mean, what, you know.
Yeah, I mean, from the first championship of this three-peat, we've had the nucleus. This I call them the eighth. When we had these girls come in as 8th graders, Mia Guest, Natalie Doodle-Hahola, Felina Candelaria. When we had them as 8th graders, we knew this was a special group. You know, I think back when Espanola Valley had their 8th graders. Do you remember that group that came up and they were good for 4 or 5 years? Well, our 8th graders that I just mentioned, they didn't get the chance to, as 8th graders, play on varsity because it was at Los Lunas and we had it rolling. You know, it's a team that's been in the state championship every year. So, you know, they just weren't able to do it as 8th graders. But since they were freshmen, you know, and Natalie actually said to me, Coach, she says, I want to get 3 rings while you're here. And she got them.
Well, and you and I really gotten to be close, starting with 4 years ago, basically
In our tournament,
at the Hope tournament,
And Los
and then
Angeles
and also your Los Lunas tournament. I
Right,
mean,
right.
it just seemed like, for almost, which is not going to happen this year. So I mean, I'm sad that
We'll work on getting it back.
and I always remember two moments with Marty Zeller. It was that one year you didn't make it to the finals at Hope, and we sat and talked, and that one year you didn't make it in the finals of your own tournament, and then we sat down and talked about it, and I just said, look, coach, it's going to be okay. You'll be all right. It's just this one tournament. You were like fit to be tied on this. But hey, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and then come back and talk more about Los Lunas girls basketball.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. I'm a competitor, Doesn't matter which game I lose, the tournament or whether otherwise.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
He used to coach for Del Norte. And
Here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair and hot it, sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back, Steve. I'm Marty Zeller, 3-time state championship. That just speaks for itself. I mean, you think about it. I mean, a lot of work, a lot of time, and everything. But this year's been a little trying for everybody, and kind of speak on what has happened over the last 5 months as far as with the COVID.
Well, take it right from the state tournament. We haven't seen the girls. We didn't see the girls for, we went through April, May, and we were supposed to start up, be able to start up in June. They said, okay, we can start in pods and what have you, and then that got pushed back 2 weeks, then it got pushed back another 2 weeks, then it got pushed back another 2 weeks. And so then you're into July, and then by mid-July, I'm thinking, man, we're going to get it. By mid-July, we're going to get this. Before the summer's over, we're going to get in, you know. And then it got to mid-July, and then when it got pushed back again in July, that's kind of when it hit me. You know, everyone talks about the players going through this, the mental aspect of it and the social aspect of it, and some depression setting in. I mean, that's when it hit me, when we were set back and July went, and there was no off season. It was really tough. It was tough on everyone down in Los Lunas, that's for sure, with the program. But I mean, it's tough for everyone. It's worldwide, and it's not. So everyone's going through it, and we've got to do what we've got to do. So right now, we've just been going 2 days a week. I've talked to a lot of coaches that are going 2 days a week because don't want to burn anything out right now. But you know, we're actually starting 3 days a week, starting today. So November came around, and tonight's our first practice in November, and we're starting out on the track and then heading up to the gym. So we're going 3 days a week, and hopefully we might push into 4 days a week in December.
Mindset of the players. I mean, I guess, you know, you said that word, depression, which is a big issue right now, you know, just statewide, and concerns of a lot of people.
True. So the depression and the deconditioning. So the mindset is conditioning. So we got to get them a little bit at a time. So 2 days a week, and then, like I said, trying to push to 3 days a week, and you know, give them things to do on their own as well. You know, I've basically told them they need to be shooting 500 shots a day. I'm talking about.
That's all for you?
I'm just talking about laying down on the ground, though.
Right,
and you know, 500 shots. It takes some time.
Right.
All right. It takes about 5 minutes to do 125 shots laying down. You know, if you're just laying on the ground and shooting as high as you can, and getting that ball to come right back to the sweet spot. So that's putting in some time itself. So hopefully they're doing that. You can give them workouts to do, you know, your squat, leg workouts and what have you, conditioning, interval, hit training, high intensity interval training. But, you know, some are going to do it and some aren't going to do it on their own. You can do what you can on Zooms. That's all you can do. It's the same for everybody. So.
Well, I think the word is, and nobody has the right answer right now. I mean, that's, you know, because, you know, with where the pandemic is right now is, you know, is basketball going to, I mean, that's behind everybody's mind right now, is basketball going to start in January?
You know, and it's just like Sally says, you know, hey, we will play, we will play, we will play. New Mexico will play again. And we believe that New Mexico will play again. But at the same time, when I'm the golf coach as well, when golf and cross country were put next to the side
And
there,
volleyball.
and volleyball, but I'm talking about when golf is outside and cross country's outside, and it was nixed. That was a real letdown. That was a real letdown. It's like, wow, now you really got to think about what's going on, and you know, it's real. The virus is out there. It's a real thing. But we'll do whatever we can. Players are practicing in masks and trying to get ready, prepare, and that's all we can do. We can do our part. We can control the controllables.
Well, let's talk about positive. Let's talk about your team as far as, you know, again, Target, a lot of great players and great program that you built. And let's talk about some of the scholarships that have already been committed to, and the depth of your team this year.
So,
and I want to save one punchline for later, and we'll save that in the next segment. Okay, so all right.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Danny Ross, who's at Snow College. Danny got recruited after the state championship tournament, and she's doing very well at Snow College, Danny Ross. Then we've got those three of the 8th graders that I mentioned, Felina Candelaria, Nia Guest, and Natalie Doodle Hohola. have committed. Mia's going to Colorado Christian. Natalie's going to Western Colorado University, and Felina's going to Adams State. So congratulations to those girls. We're going to get set up the signing date coming up here pretty soon.
Well, let me know on that, because I want to make sure we send somebody down and get all the signatures in. If we can be let in. So
that's the thing. It's a 4-1 right now.
We're barely
getting the parents in.
Right. No, that's the issue that you have to deal with. But
so if it goes to a 9-1, goes back to a 9-1, then and they may want to hold off, since it's 4-1. They might want to hold off on their signing date. So we'll let you know. Yes.
That'd be awesome to be part of that. And Marty, your success, one thing that I know that you love your conditioning program. I mean, as soon as the season starts, you put your team through a conditioning. Now, you said you made a great comment earlier, and it's that you don't want to burn them out, because, and I guess the question is why?
Well, timing is everything. That's
Right.
bottom line. Timing is everything. And with that
Well, you
timing,
don't want to peak too.
That's right. When you're going to peak, you got to peak at the right time.
In normal conditions, right? Though you'll be starting basketball right now. That's
right.
I mean, actually, this week is that in normal?
Well,
November.
In the past, it was November 1.
November 1,
last year,
right.
it actually moved to like mid-November
Right.
because of the volleyball thing. So they moved it to mid-November starting. But yeah,
And
this
you
is
would be
the normal start time.
And you would be having a game probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, right? Or right
A lot of schools started by November 20th, November 18th, November 15th. Yeah, a lot of schools have already started November 15th. So we usually don't start till about November 25th. Yeah.
And currently, right now, if I'm correct, it's January 7th. Is that the new?
January 4th is
Okay.
when it's official practice starts, and then the 9th. So we got 5 days of practice. 5 days of practice, and you can play on the 9th.
All right. We're going to come back and talk more about Los Lunas girls basketball.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We have Marty Zeller, 3-time state champion, 3-peat, actually 5-time state champions in the last 8 years, and 7 of the last 8 years in the finals of the games, and that's a great resume. great resume. And
I've enjoyed my time at Los Angeles High School for sure.
you know, and I want to talk. You know, you always have a theme. You know, we've talked about this year. You have something for the players, and if you could touch on that.
Well, we have our program slogan, so to speak, and that is be a part of something bigger than yourself. Number one, and that just goes with the program for anyone with the Booster Club, right on and down, players, coaches, anyone involved. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. I think that's always a good one. And then we have a program verse. It is iron sharpens iron as one sharpens another. So keeps everyone accountable for what they do. So that's our program verse. This year we have our slogan the girls chose was remember who you play for. And of course for Los Angeles High School that's the Lord and Savior. And then we have the verse this year, which is 1 Corinthians 12:12, which talks about one body and many parts. And I think that was appropriate verse that we chose because we have so many girls that are talented players. You know, they're already signed at various schools, and yeah, it's going to be important that they understand, which they all do, because they've all bought into it from when they're in 8th grade, about it being a team game and just playing together and being together and being one. And that verse talks about the unity of the body. And that's going to be critical for us moving forward.
Well, next year you talk about critical. You're going into a new
5A.
district, and you got a 4P to be working on, and 5A is new district. Let's talk about your district a little bit. I mean, this is something that
we're in the district with Capital, Santa Fe, Manzano, Albuquerque High, and Rio Grande. So 6-team district.
And right out, because we do a lot of 5A games, and I can tell you there's some top great young athletes in the state of New Mexico.
There really are. There really are. Hobbs has some 8th graders. Look at Carlsbad has a great sophomore in Allie Myers. You've got Hobbs with what's her name?
Your cat.
Oh my goodness.
We'll come back to that. I know you'll think of it.
What's her? Yeah, the guard. I mean, all you have to do is ask Volcano Vista and La Cueva, and the ones that she went running through. I mean, yeah.
But you look at that. La Cueva's going to be good. They got a lot of young. Pereira's got a lot of coming back. Volcano Vista's very young.
Very young, talented team, kind of like ours was. They're a year behind our girls, but they're juniors where ours are seniors, and but they're very talented. You got Cumber from Sandia, you got Billy from Piedra Vista, and the Watson girl. So you got a lot of talent out there.
Well, also you made a lot of people happy, though. If you want to, Kirtland Central and also Highland.
Departing 4A.
I mean, they got some talent themselves coming back. So
yeah, Highland's going to be a tough, formidable opponent.
They gave you a good run for
they
your
did
buddy.
in the semis. Yes, they did. All we wanted.
What's the mindset? I use that word mindset. Motivation. Sir. I guess is it self-motivation, knowing that you're going your players when how are they analyzing? Because it's.
Oh, I think at Los Lunas High School, I think they're just so used to being driven. I think they're just used to being driven, and in their conditioning, it's all about finding the next level of pain individually. So I don't think they're really concerned about whether we move up to 5A or who we're playing at 5A. I mean, we had 9 teams in 5A on our schedule every year, so it's not anything new for Los Lunas High School to play in 5A schools.
So this really opens up. I know that next year the schedule is going to be condensed. You're not going to play your regular 28 games. And you said back to you is usually use time to develop your players over the, usually it's 5 months, over a period of 5 months. So, basically November to March is a good time to,
Individual development.
Individual team
Big on
development
individual
and
development.
team development, learning, learning your substitution pattern.
Let's just say the system and the substitute.
We always laugh about, you and I laugh about that, but I would have never guessed, and I still will not reveal that secret to anybody. But it was nice for you to finally, because it was just mind-boggling how people knew when to get up the bench, and you didn't even talk to them, and they were up and dealing. It might be 5 seconds, it might be 15 seconds, it might be 2 or 3 minutes before somebody gets substituted. Everybody knew when to get up off the bench, and they just knew it instantly that they were time for them to play.
And they knew they needed to be ready, and if they
Right.
weren't ready, they may lose that precious moments that they had on the court. So we play 1,920 seconds, and it's every second of the game. That's just the way we play.
And I've used that. You know what? There's not too many coaches that know how many seconds. They know how many minutes, and they always, as I was taught that, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter was the time you had to make a presence, and usually whoever won that first 4 minutes of the third quarter, your chances of winning the game were pretty good.
And a lot of people talk about those. Is it the start of the second quarter? Is it right after halftime? I mean, for us, it's just every second.
Every
second counts.
And
That's all it's
it's neat that people know that they contribute in 2 or 3, no matter how long they're on the court. But Marty, I want to congratulate you on the 18, 19, and 20, and especially this year winning the state championship. And hope and good luck. I mean, you're going to be tested this year and playing in 5A.
Yes, it's going to be much different. Hobbs is very good. PV, Mayfield, La Cueva, Volcano Vista, Sandia. I mean.
Well, Marty, thanks a lot for coming on the Steve Davis Show.
Thank you very
again.
much.
Bet.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Marty Zeller, state champions 3 years in a row. And Marty, thanks for coming in. And sorry it's taken so long, but COVID, you have to have patience, to get going. And we're finally back broadcasting.